You love me.
The gimmick has returned, backed by popular demand. I Knew It, I Knew You couldn't stay away. The third book in the series is actually the most boring, yet very satisfying. By this point, I was locked into the series, and I just wanted to see what would happen next. This time, Joe is on Bumfuck Island nowhere, a few miles from Washington State, when he meets his next you by the name of a library owner named Mary Kay. If you're wondering what happened to love, let's just say it doesn't last forever. So, after being paid by Love's family to fuck off, Joe finds himself in a new town, falling in love all over again. This is his biggest obstacle yet. You would think a rich girl would be, but a married woman and mother in a struggling marriage is a whole other ball game, and our boy Joe is in it to win it, of course, by any means necessary. I forgot to mention this looking over the first two books, but the best way to describe the author's writing borderline between smut and how a man really thinks. That's the best way I can describe it, take it as you will. This is also the tamest story, believe it or not, but same tricks from the last two books still apply. And I started to notice the author loves her pop culture references. I noticed them in the first two books, but by the third one, it became too hard to ignore. Also, that ending, it's the kind of ending that you kind of see coming, but you don't want the author to go there, but she goes there. Lastly, this is fun to read, and even though it's my least favorite in some ways, but it is not my least favorite overall, I'll give this one an A. It's the little things that kept this book from completely sucking, and I will always love it when the author kind of fucks with your head. If there's a lesson to be learned here, don't date rich girls and don't go after married women. It will not end well. But then again, it never does for Joe, for you and only you. The fourth, and hopefully not the last in the series. This book was written fairly recently in 2023. That gives me hope that it might be a fifth book, but we'll see. Anyways, on to this one. Joe is now the big man on campus, even though he's in his 30s. He managed to catch the eye of famous author and led him into some type of Harvard fellowship. In said fellowship, he found a whole new you, a beautiful young girl by the name of Wonder, or One for short, catches Joe's eye. They're both authors and the fellowship, so according to Joe, they were made for each other. I wonder if she'll know how far he'll go for her love. Okay, I have mixed feelings about this one. It's still just exciting as the first three books. However, you can feel the author projecting through her characters in this one about the frustration of being a writer, especially a famous writer. I couldn't have been the only one who caught that. Also, I might be slow, but I really started to see Joe's selfishness in this one. It's like by the time I got to the last few chapters, this book had just clicked. At first, I feel Joe was like me if I was crazy and homicidal. Now I know I could never be that selfish. You can't change women and you can't force love. You pretty much have to take it as is. But I guess this is what the author telling us. Joe is destined to be alone, even if he never gets arrested. I saw an interview with the narrator and the author. Something the author said stuck with me. She said, I like to think of myself as Joe's savior and tormentor. You really see it in this book. I wouldn't mind this being the last one, but it didn't feel like the end. So I hope a fifth book is in the works. As for this one, I have to give it another
A minus.
same exciting Joe adventure, but the ending was just too lackluster for me. Series conclusion. I really enjoy this entire series. Who knew a story about a stalker slash murderer who locks a lot of people up in various basements or cages would be exciting? For me, it mostly goes to the performance of the narrator in the audiobooks. He really did keep the story alive for me. If not for him, I would have used my imagination, which probably still would have been good, but I'm too lazy to read. The overall series so far, I'll give it an A minus, but I can't fully recommend it. Stalking is no joke, and a lot of beautiful women have been stalked. But if you can treat this as a work fiction and not have it trigger you, I'd imagine you enjoy it as much as I did. Before I end this video, I want to give some thoughts of what I would want from a fifth U book. I'm not trying to be an armchair writer here. I'm just trying to indulge myself for a little bit of fan fiction, but I'll ultimately let the writer cook. For Joe's next "you," I vote homicidal, crazy bitch, possibly a psychiatrist as the profession. You know, a real Harley Quinn type. Only you don't see the psycho shit until at least halfway through the book. I'll let the writer iron out the details, but I think that would be the next logical step, especially if the author announced that this would be the final book in the series, which it should be. The gimmick is running a little thin. Working titles: You Love Me and I Love You, Crazy in Love with You, You Are Love, Everlasting, something along those lines. I haven't seen the show yet, so I don't know if the show has done that already, but I'll find out when I watch it.
And I will